I've been involved with SLOC for about 35 years. I started with my three sons. My oldest and youngest sons have made a professional career out of theater, partly because of their experience at Light Opera.
The president of Light Opera, who was Bonnie Williams then, came and asked me if I would be interested in helping them with a move or a acquisition. I had heard through the grapevine that St. John the Baptist was probably going to close down.
That church was built in 1836, so it has a fair amount of historic value.
Well, all of a sudden we found out that St. John's was going to become available.
And it was the perfect size for a theater, about 300 seats. And so
we started talking about fundraising and how we were going to do that.
They had a price that was a little over $1 million on the entire facility, which is 3 separate buildings.
It became sort of a monumental kind of project because we are an all-volunteer organization.
So Joe Fava and Bob Harrison had reached out to me, and what initially began as assisting the organization with strategic planning evolved into helping to shape and implement the fundraising efforts. Because to be honest, they had never done any type of fundraising effort of this kind in their 85 years.
The plan was, in the beginning, to have some tenants so they could help us subsidize the facility, being the insurance and the heat costs. So we got Northeast Valley as a tenant, which helps us out tremendously. We have another tenant in there now too, which is Scary River Center.
Light Opera did an exceptionally intense strategic planning process, and they have followed through on it.
Really, the strategy is for the first phase to reach out within the Capital Region community, and that has been extremely successful.
And so, but these phases were designed that as we raised funds for the project, they were independent of one another, so that if we only completed phase 1, we would still have a functioning theater.
Now, the reason why we decided to move downtown was actually, it's really not brain surgery if you think about what's happened in downtown Schenectady. With the Art Center, with our Art Center, with Proctor's, the restaurants.
And so we have raised $1 million, a little, just a tad over $1 million.
That roughly breaks down to about $700,000 in grants, so including support from Metroplex, the county, Golub Foundation, a Main Street grant that we competed statewide, in partnership with the DSIC and the city and county and Metroplex. We have over $200,000 from SLOC donors. In this economy, you know, it's challenging for everyone. And one of the most heartwarming things for myself has been contractors large and small that have really stepped up to the plate. And that combined with a group of volunteers led by Doug Peak, it probably would have cost us easily $1.5 million.
We're still talking to people. We're still seeing, they see the vision. Now we can bring them through a product that we actually have. This is sort of our experimental season with the shows. Next year is our grand opening, and we're going to have 5 wonderful shows, hopefully, with an opening gala in the fall.
And we have this lovely courtyard that is absolutely unique, and this lovely garden area that we will be developing for summer theater.
So what we've done is create a synergy and atmosphere in downtown at a place that is really quite an interesting location, with about probably anywhere, well, just to give you an example, this show, which we're doing now, which is Les Miserables, it involves over 100 people. One of the nice things was there was a whole group of people, contingency, from St. John's Church that came to see the show.
Mary Pigeon, one of their oldest, and she was in her 90s. She turned the key when the parish closed that church. And so on our opening night, just a little over a month ago, we invited Mary and the congregation to come. And we made all of them honorary members of Schenectady Light Opera.
And they're a part of this. So it's really about, you know, taking care of this property and leaving something for the community.
So I think that we've helped out the Arts Center, the Arts District, but they've also helped us out too.
I'm just inspired, truly inspired, to work with this group and to be a part of creating something so unique within the Capital Region.